Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to talk about South Park skipping a week. They're talking about it courting controversy because it's going after the right, and it's also got record ratings. Now, this is really interesting. Apparently, this hiatus was planned, but I have to wonder on some level, will the pushback from the White House and from conservatives actually push Paramount to be like, hey, could you rein it in on South Park a little bit? And I know that Trey and Matt are not going to be good with that, and South Park makes them a lot of money. But this is really going to be, I guess where I want to go with this is going to be the pudding that has the proof, I guess, because we're going to talk about Colbert, and he got canceled because he was apparently losing them $40 to $50 million a year. And South Park, they can say and do whatever the hell they want to do because they're making them ridiculous money. They've got ridiculous ratings. If they are left to their own devices to say whatever the hell they want to about Trump, and have Noam be a dog-killing sociopath, psychopath, and Trump's pee-pee is tiny and all that stuff, and they don't say anything to them, then that shows, once and for all, proves that they weren't capitulating to the White House. This is basically, Colbert did not bring the numbers. If you bring the numbers, you're good. If you bring the numbers, you can say or do whatever the hell you want to do because there's too much money on the table, right? So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. So this comes from the Hollywood Reporter, and we'll talk about kind of the conservative backlash to South Park. Now, I think people missed the memo that South Park has always roasted the right too in recent years because they went after Kathleen Kennedy, but now they're really going hard in the paint on Trump. I think it was funnier when Mr. Garrison was doing it, but whatever. This comes from the Hollywood Reporter. South Park skipping another week amid controversy and record ratings. So they're okay with that. They're okay if it's controversy on one side and not the other, Comedy Central is celebrating a South Park day of programming for the show's anniversary instead of airing another season 27 episode. And how many years do we have to wait for season 27? Comedy Central is not airing a new episode of the animated hit series this week. Second time the show has not run a weekly episode since the season 27 premiere just a few weeks ago. Hey, come on. Unlike when the show abruptly skipped its second week of the season, and unlike when the season premiere itself was delayed by 2 weeks, this hiatus has been baked into the schedule for a while. Instead, they're going to have South Park Day. It's running a marathon of fan favorite episodes all day. They're going to have interviews with the creators, behind the scenes footage, yada, yada. The pause also gives the production a bit of breathing room. The show operates on a famously tight schedule, with Parker and Stone creating entire episodes in just 6 days and often delivering a locked cut hours before Comedy Central's deadline. Yeah, they can do that now with computers. I mean, back when they were doing like the paper cutouts and stuff, like, damn. The skipped week comes amid the production experiencing a massive and perhaps unprecedented amount of attention and scrutiny while heavily targeting the Trump administration and also Paramount, while the administration has gamely and repeatedly fired back. Earlier this week, the production released a bonus end credit scene that showed Kristi Noem shooting dogs in a pet store. The production's X page also changed its avatar to Noem's melting face from the episode after she blasted the show, saying it's so lazy to make fun of women for how they look. Only the liberals and the extremists do that. So one word of advice to any celebrity being targeted by South Park: take it in stride and don't push back, because if you push back, they're going to push back even harder. That is what I have seen time and time again, is that if you have a problem with them making fun of you, it's basically like 4chan. It's like they're gonna go harder in the paint because they think it's hilarious. They think it's hilarious that you're offended by the cartoon. Remember, Harry and Meghan Markle. Yeah, it didn't go very well. Meanwhile, the show's ratings have been setting records. The season 27 premiere delivered 6 million cross-platform viewers and had the show's biggest share in 25 years. Early estimates from Samba on the show's second episode showed live viewing jumping from 25% from the second season premiere. Season 27 has 10 episodes. That's not a season. 10 episodes is not a season. That's what I'm tired of. Why is it that a season of television now is like, It's a 4-episode season. It's a 6-episode season. That used to be like a story arc in a 20-episode season. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's like King of the Hill. Everybody's like, oh my God, they're dropping the entire season on Hulu all at once. And it's like 10 episodes. You know, I get that things are different with streaming, but I don't consider season 20 or a season anything less than like 13 to 20 episodes. And even then, like I used to think Doctor Who, I used to think it was kind of wild that in the US, a standard drama or sci-fi series had like 20 to 26 episodes a season. And they're like, oh yeah, we got 13 episodes. It's, you know, that's a whole season. I'm like, that's like half a season, bitch. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So anyway, yeah, they've been going hard in the paint. The White House is not happy about it. I guess we could talk about it. We haven't really talked about South Park too much. But again, where I'm trying to come at it with this is that Colbert was whining he got canceled because he criticized Trump. You know, he didn't have a cartoon of Trump with a tiny peepee. He's just not bringing the views. That's really what it boils down to at the end of the day is he's not bringing the views. This is why he got canceled. So let's look at some of these other headlines here. This comes from Forbes. White House slams South Park episode that skewers Trump and Paramount amid $1.5 billion streaming deal and the Skydance merger. White House spoke. This is where we're at, guys, that the White House feels the need to address South Park, right? At like 30 years after the show debuted. It's crazy. White House spokesperson Taylor Rogers told multiple outlets the show hasn't been relevant for over 20 years and is hanging on by a thread with uninspired ideas in a desperate attempt for attention. Actually, I would argue, regardless of how you feel about the content, I would say South Park is more relevant now than it has been in probably a decade. Like I kind of forgot South Park existed. And it seems like it's had a resurgence in popularity. And I think a lot of it is because they are topical, they're timely, they're not afraid to offend. And that means, yeah, they're going to offend you too. And they're going to offend you. And they're going to go after Kathleen Kennedy. Then they're going to go after Trump. And then they're going to, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's always been this way. Just people weren't really paying attention. And we weren't so polarized. Like we used to be able to laugh at everybody. And we can't really do that now. But I think it's kind of funny that they're even like, yeah, it's not relevant. Accusing the left of hypocrisy for criticizing South Park for what they labeled offensive. Suddenly they're praising the show. Yeah, that is the thing too. It depends on confirmation bias. Like the left was outraged when they were going after Kathleen Kennedy, when they were going after the vaccine mandates, when they were going after Disney, when they're like, oh my God, guys, they're making fun of Kathleen Kennedy. They're punching down. Oh, this is the right wing, alt-right. Now they're like, oh, they're going after Trump too. Oh my God, South Park's back. And I've literally seen headlines like that. South Park is back. It's amazing. It says we forgot this show existed until they agreed with us. It's everybody wants to. It's like, look, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. If you've been watching the show for any length of time, you realize they're gonna skewer everybody. And if you push back against it there, Christy, they're gonna go harder in the paint on you. I'm just saying. So this was a couple weeks ago. This came from Wired. Paramount has a $1.5 billion South Park problem. The White House says the show is fourth rate after it showed Trump with tiny genitals. These are our headlines. This is 2025, and these are our headlines. The controversy comes after the FCC greenlit Paramount's merger with Skydance and promised to end DEI. Again, are they going to do anything about it in South Park's case? No, I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to let South Park say what they want to say because they make them a lot of money. They make them a lot of money. And you can't, when you've got investors, you got to make happy. And this whole Skydance thing was about making money. You can't be like, you know what, we're going to shut down South Park because they said Trump had a tiny peepee. They're not going to do it, right? So this is the Paramount CEO. This was just a couple of days ago. He lauded South Park creators for being equal opportunity offenders. So if you're worried about Paramount and Skydance capitulating, because that's the narrative that they're running with Stephen Colbert, I think this shoots it out of the water. If he brought the numbers, they wouldn't have canceled them. Paramount's new CEO, David Ellison, lauded South Park creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker for being equal opportunity offenders. They made headlines for mocking Trump. Matt and Trey are incredibly talented. Yes, they make us a lot of money. That's what that means. They are equal opportunity offenders and always have been. That is true. Anyone who's watched the show for any amount of time will tell you that. Paramount and Skydance formalized their $8 billion merger on Thursday after months of debate, bringing South Park and other entities such as CBS and MTV under Ellison's ownership. The previous owners agreed in early July to pay $16 million to the president's future presidential library after Trump sued over a 60 Minutes interview with Harris. South Park has not shied away from mocking the current administration and its policies, leveling jabs at Trump, Vance, the Department of Homeland Security, and Kristi Noem. During the latest episode titled "Got a Nut," is that what it was called? The show made fun of her looks and mocked the immigration raids. In response, Noem said the show's depiction of her was lazy, arguing it was a pattern of making fun of women for how they look. The White House has previously fired back at South Park, claiming the show has been irrelevant for over 2 decades. I don't know. Numbers say otherwise. You know, you don't have to like it. I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm not saying you have to agree with it. I'm just saying numbers don't lie. The numbers are good. Numbers are very, very good, which is why they're not getting rid of them, and they're probably not telling them to shut up because there's too much damn money on the table. You can basically get away with anything on TV or in movies as long as the money doesn't dry up, right? But where we run into problems is when, you know, advertisers are threatening to boycott or, you know, viewership drops off, then you're going to be canceled. The reason Dave Chappelle was not canceled from Netflix is he brought too many eyeballs to Netflix. If he was a smaller comedian, they would have just gotten rid of him because they were afraid it would cost them subscriptions. And that's the truth. That is the truth. That's how it works. Colbert's not bringing it. They're not going to pay him. They're not going to pay him. They're going to pay these guys, and they're probably going to let them do whatever the hell they want to do. And if they don't, then yeah, at that point it is absolutely positively capitulation. If they decide to shut them up, but I don't think they're going to. They're just going to ride it out. They've been through many presidencies. I think, you know, this too shall pass. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Attention, stupid humans. All orcs are evil, just like Gary Gygax and Professor Tolkien warned you. Series 1 of these orc enamel pins are on Kickstarter again for a very limited time. Pick your clan, join the Horde, and cause some mayhem. Go to badorcs.com. That's badorcs.com.